Tonight's boxing action proudly brought to you by Madison Sport.
He can taste victory. Oh, hang on. Straight left, drop the peach. He moves in. He can smell blood. Oh, Wilson says bring it on. Get up, get up. Oh, look at this, smoke. He's moving in ring. Oh, hang on. He's caught Cole with the right hand. He moves in. He can smell blood. And welcome back to this fight that we started last week. As we say, a good evening to you all, and welcome along to In the Red Corner. We're not mucking around. The timepiece beat us last week. We got through 5 rounds of action in this national title fight between Chris McCullen and Brad Hemming, which was staged at the Mansfield Tavern on the 25th of August this year. And what we've had to do is roll out the tail end of this fight. So hopefully for those that viewed the first 5 rounds, you're back with us. And for those of you that missed last week's show, I can tell you that it was a very eager contest in the first 5 between McCullen boxing in the white shorts and Hemming in the orange shorts. Maybe Chris McCullen may have had just a slight advantage after the first 5 rounds, but not a lot in it. No big punches recorded. Brian Kerwin, better known as BK from Red Corner Promotions, in commentary with us as we pick up the action now early into the 5th round. And our referee here for this bout was Alan Simpson.
Mark, thank you, mate. Looking back over the last week's show, I probably would have had it 4 rounds to McCullen and 1 to Hemming, but you could have argued that it could have been 3-2 or something like that to McCullen. Definitely an even contest, and as you can see, Hemming throwing some very nice straight punches and catching Chris going back.
Yeah, the mood of the first 5 rounds, and that was a nice straight left hand that caught Brad Hemming. He accepted the punch quite well. Yeah, getting back to the theme and the mood, they got nice and tight for the first 5. Wrestled around a bit, in fact, to the point where they both ended up on the canvas at one stage. And more of it now, as you can see. This is sort of how it was fought, the majority of the fight, through my eyes at least. Alan Simpson was kept pretty busy, but there was a lot of damage, a lot of work. It's a nice little flurry there from Chris that was done in the clinches. Brad Hemming possessing a very strong right rip, and Chris, the opposite hand, very effective, as we've seen in the past, particularly when he fought Dan Cody and stopped him with a left rip out at the Sleeman Sports Centre the last time he fought.
Both boys have gone to the body a lot in this fight. And it's just dawned on me, maybe they've had a pre-fight agreement. Brad, the glamour boy, Chris, the good-looking young boxer, have said to each other, let's not hit each other in the face, Mark.
I don't believe that would be the case, but a very valid point you make. Yeah, most of the workload has been conducted below the neckline. You watch here, we'll see something come straight out of the box and land on one's chin.
Of course, I was only joking there. Both of these boys, this is the Australian title fight, and they would be doing everything within their powers to win this bout.
That'd be the chant for Chrissy going up, would it? That takes care of round number 6.
Seconds down.
As we tune up now for the 7th. 3 or 4 left hands there, almost thrown concurrently from Chris. Brad's been warned once or twice for holding on. Now he's covering up as Chris starts to apply a little bit more pressure. These mauling tactics continuing. They're nice and close. I'm a little surprised that there probably hasn't been a reasonable head clash there, because both boys, their head movement is rather quick, and a lot of it. When you get nice and tight like that, so often you see that a cut may appear, and due basically because of the fact that the 2 heads have collided. And now they're at a reasonable distance as Brad now flicks out the left and follows up with the right, and does well to get out of the way there of an advancing McCullen. He comes back at Chris on this occasion.
McCullen continues to score with that left rip to the body. He's just working away at Brad Hemming, picking up the points. He's not doing a great deal of damage to him, but he's winning these rounds.
I'm certainly no technical expert, but you can see when Chris squares up and brings that left foot forward that you know that the rip is coming and it's got something attached.
There was a perfect example of what you were just explaining, Mark.
And look at that right over the top, beautifully set up by the left hand. Hemming comes back with the left of his own. But McCullen here seems to be in control of this round.
Chris started this fight at 100 miles an hour, and into the 6th round now he is continually to go into the 7th round now. He's continually to go at 100 miles an hour. His fitness is phenomenal.
Right.
As I said last week, we were tuned up with Oyen and Briggs and Tyrone Tongia and the Hadlow Piper fight. It was an excellent fight card, and this was the cream on the cake. The joint was packed, was rocking and rolling. They came up the coast from the Gold Coast to support their man Hemming, the Glamour Boy, and they'd packed them in from the Logan Boxing Club, out of the Bethania Boxing Club, to support their man in the white trunks, McCullen, who may have his nose in front here. Here comes Hemming at a rush, showing plenty of leather. McCullen covers up well.
Neither of these fighters have let their supporters down either. This is a great bout.
We're inside the final few seconds of the 7th round. We're going to take a little break on in the red corner. Go and get a glass of water. We'll come back with more right after this. We're back with you. Yeah, there you go, Peter Rukas, our ringside announcer, forewarning the punters that were inside now the 8th round. The crowd has lifted. Both of these boys know that the fight, not only the fight, the title is there on the line. It's there to be won. Who wants it the most?
Just watching how Chris McCullen started that round there, I don't think there's many domestic junior welterweights in Australia, outside of obviously Michael Katsides and Lovemore Nadu and those type of guys, that could handle his pressure, that could handle his drive and his aggression.
You know, having a look at the stats here, Chris, you're talking about his physical presence last week. The fact that he looks nice and cut and tuned. He's only at 167 centimetres. In fact, he's 3 centimetres shorter than Brad Hemming.
I think he might have lied to put that on there. He could be about 166. Right.
So you reckon he might be giving Hemming 4 centimetres. Now, that was different again. Saw him do that in one of the earlier rounds. He tried to just to mix it up a little bit. He creeps to the right, and I'm just not sure of what the plan of attack there after is. But anyway, it's worth a go. And a little bit more of the old Hemming's back against the ropes. And now he's trying to fight off them. But McCullen has been able to manhandle Brad a few times and to just put that extra bit of pressure on him to position him up on the ropes to apply those flurry of punches that have scored, I think, quite well for him so far in this fight. Nice and tight. A little bit of tap-tap stuff there.
Although there's been a little bit of holding from Hemming, Alan Simpson's had a very easy time inside the ring refereeing these two guys. Very respectful guys and understand the rules, and not much else going on outside of those rules.
If you missed the show last week, chances are that you didn't. But if you did, just reminding you too that this is Brad Hemming's 3rd try at a national title. Last year, 05, he had 2 attempts against Mick Shaw, both at Southport, both unsuccessful. But fought right to the bitter end, went the distance. He lost on points. Here he is now. What have we got? 12, 13 months later, in the ring against Chris McCullen, fighting for another chance to take home the title. I think he got through his Hemming's defence there. He's done it again, flicking that right hand up, and now the crowd really starting to lift. McCullen Oh, Hemming comes back with a flurry. Most of it, I think, grazing over the top of Chris's head. There goes the 8th.
Chris McCullen gives a wink to his adoring supporters. He's enjoying this.
Seconds down. Round 9.
She's chopped together in a way that we're trying to fit it all in. There's the Aussie flags over the back there on one of those sponsored tables.
Well, this is for the Aussie title, Mark.
Exactly. Signifying that the national pride is on the line.
And both of these fighters desperately want this belt.
McCullen's record. Can it advance to 11 fights and 10 wins tonight? I don't think he will be able to pick it up on a KO. Hemming, I don't think at really any point. You may have well have called a right hand earlier on in the fight where Brad may have wobbled a little bit, but I don't believe that he's really felt as if he's been heading to the canvas in any other point of the fight. I think he's kept his composure quite well, despite the fact that Chris has been the aggressor here and has landed, I think, more scoring punches, clearly. I think Brad's fought a damn good fight himself and done the best he can.
Yeah, there's no question mark on Brad Hemming's chin or determination. He's lasted 20 rounds with Mick Shaw, and now he's lasted another 8 or 9 with Chris McCullen, so there's no problem there. Maybe a little tiredness showing in both of the fighters there.
Well, you'd expect that.
Taking a tiny rest. Chris, the perfectionist, will be disappointed in that little rest he's just taken.
That'd be Chrissy. And
phenomenal atmosphere out there at the Mansfield Tavern. It's a great fight venue.
It's quite absorbing, isn't it? Sometimes you forget you've got to say something. You get caught up in it, and there you go, you're transfixed on what's going on. A little bit of light powder puff stuff there coming from both boys. No damage done. Alan Simpson once again called in to break them up.
That was a nice right hand from Hemming.
Coming up in the not too distant future, we've got a night out at the Logan Diggers, BK.
Yeah, November 10. For those of you that attended the Oktoberfest at the Broncos Leagues Club, we're going to have a similar style event with the XFC and some professional boxing. It was quite a night out at the Broncos Leagues Club with 2 action-packed fights to finish the night with that left the crowd salivating for more.
Did I hear tap tap? Yeah, well, I did. We're going to have to take another little break, possibly, here on In the Red Corner. We'll do that. Another word from our sponsors. We'll be back soon.
Seconds down.
As we come back out of that sponsorship break for the 10th and certainly the final round of this national title. Has Hemming got something up his sleeve, even though he's sleeveless? Can he find something? Can he dig deep enough to put an end to this fight? Because he's behind on the judges' cards. McCullen knows it, but he goes in like a bulldog. Nevertheless, he could probably afford now to jump on his bike and get out of the way of anything that Hemming's got to offer.
I don't think that's in Chris's nature. I think he's going to take that fight up to him for the remainder of these 3 minutes, and he's going to turn it into a war. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't get on his bike. He's not like that. He doesn't want to let Hemming off the hook.
Terrific fight. And what a way to end tonight at Mansfield Tavern. Congratulations again to Angelo and the team from Ace Boxing Promotions. What a ripper.
Chris with a little smile there. He's enjoyed this.
He's a very laconic looking figure, Brad Hemming. He doesn't give much away as far as any animated expression that he could probably portrayed to his opponent that he could be in trouble. You're seeing the same Brad Hemming, really, in his face as what you did at the start of the fight. There he goes with a couple of little tiny taps. McCullen just gives himself a bit of a breathing space. He takes a couple of steps back and then comes at him again.
And that's probably been the story of the whole fight. Hemming flashy, looks good and can score when he at times, but Chris McCullen has just been too strong, too pressuring, and he's outscored him.
Brad needs to find something from somewhere. It's not forthcoming at the moment. And once again, these boys, have to be out on their feet. They'd be exhausted at the end of this, one would think. He's still got something to offer, has Brett. Oh, hang on, and his head just goes rocking back. I think it just felt the effects of a Chris McCullen uppercut.
This is the 30th minute that these two guys have been fighting.
Oh, and over the top with a good right hand. His supporters think maybe just McCullen could end it. Hemming holding on. Even the little fella over the back there with the cap on. Have a look at him. He's looking there. He can't take his eyes off it. Oh, beautiful footwork there from McCullen. And a heap of punches again thrown. Right in the dying stages of this fight. As I said, it's just not a blue, it's just not a fight, it's a national title fight. And look at it, what a way to finish. Bring it on, Hemming said, no, there's no more. Simpson jumps and he said, that's time, boys. They're on their feet at the Mansfield.
What a fight.
Hugs and kisses all round. Yeah, what a beauty.
The coins start to shower into the ring. Fitting too.
Why not? I tell you what, you know, when you talk about a local fight night in suburbia, and you can go to a place like the Mansfield Tavern and take that fight action in. Let's go to Peter Rukas now for the final call.
Derek Millum adjudged the fight 92-100. Judge Steve Marshall adjudged the fight 91-100. Judge Alan Burford adjudged the fight 90-100. Ladies and gentlemen, a unanimous points decision, and the new Australian Junior welterweight champion, the red corner, Chris McCullen!
Oh, what a finish. What a fitting way to have a climax in front of his home crowd. There's Angelo DiCarlo stepping in.
Stevie Morgan, one of the great supporters of Chris McCullen, in the ring there.
There's the Hemming camp. They'd be proud of him. Their lad, he's just left there. He's only 26 years of age, you know, Brad Hemming. They're going to, no doubt, I think, attract a comment from Chris McCullen, who is more than articulate, and he'll have a lot of people to thank, I'm sure. It's been a heady old road. It's been support from the days when he was fighting Winter and O'Neill to a couple of fights against Washington. It seems like a lifetime ago.
Listen,
here he is now with Peter Rukas.
There's been a lot of things that have happened along the way, and there's been a lot of people that you've had beside you through this journey. A lot of people. I know there's people you want to thank. So I know you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to tell me.
Pete, I got so many people to get through, but first of all, I think he's gone, but Brad Hemming, Les Wilson, his dad Graham, Johnny, you know, thanks guys for coming out. But I'm sorry, mate, but I trained too hard to give this up, and doesn't matter who it was tonight, no one was taking it. Simple as that. Yeah, as you said, I got so many people to thank. Look, guys, I may forget, but that was 10 rounds of war, and I'll try and remember everyone. My major sponsors, the guys, you know, they chipped in, allowed me to train full-time for this fight. I didn't have to work. There's so many people here. I'll go through them. We got Butch Medeiros. I seen him in here from A.E. Smith. We got Paul and Diane Lack from NSS, National Staffing Services, wherever you are, Paul, Dino for helping out there. We got Greg Wallace from Executive Fight Club. You can see all the other sponsors Greg got together. He chipped in. Hawley Constructions, Jeff Hawley. My good mate Kenny Hamer, he's up here. I see you, Kembo. He's another sponsor. They all chipped in financially to get this. This isn't mine, this is ours. Also, I got Madison Sport, Nigel and the boys, they're here. They've been there from the start. Roy Cross, Gareth, who's kicked me out of all my gear. Hoyer from We Coach, he's helped keep my head straight. Now, not many people know, but 4 weeks out, I re-broke my hand when I was sparring Kitsides. Everyone called me crazy. Everyone said you can't go through with it. There was no way I was pulling out. I said, I'm fighting. I don't care what anyone says. Mick Shaw, who's up next, can vote for it. I've had to spar so many rounds one-handed. There's a man over here, Steve Jans, who fitted me out with all the acupuncture, all the herbal stuff for ages from Kenmore Centre for Health. And I really owe this to Steve, as well as Laurel Lee, wherever Laurel Lee is at this time. Also did some work on my hand, kept my body together. To all the team down here who are part of Greg Wallace's crew, well, we did it as one. Angelo DiCarlo, where is he? Where is he? There you are. This is ours, Ange. Carmel, Nate, Alf, this is everyone. My club, Logan Boxing Team. Man, you cost me a fortune in text messages today, but you give me the spirit and you make me fight. You've seen during the week, you know, I've got to apologise to every one of you and say thank you, because I did no work leading up to this with everyone. No one complained. Trent's off to the World Championships. I did nothing with him. He's won the Australian title, and this is my payment to you guys. I hope I make you proud by being in here.
Can you believe he just fought 10 rounds and he said all that? Mate, I know. There's blokes in your corner and there's your family and all that as well, mate. It's very special.
I can't go past my family. Raz, the kids, Elge, I put them through hell. You know, my mum who helped out with the kids, Megsy Rallian's mum who helped out with the kids. I put everyone through torture for this thing, and hopefully now I've made everyone proud and we can celebrate. Everyone over here, all my friends and everyone. This is the best. Everyone here, look at this, it's crazy. Where's my mate Pandemonium in here? Where is he? I can't see him, he's probably hiding. My corner, we did it from the start, you know. Gareth Williams, Mark Wilson, we did it from the start. My man Nath over here, my brother Ben over in the back there, probably crapped his pants in here. But also to my little mate
Chris
Bryce,
McCullen,
it's his birthday today.
thanking practically everybody that attended
Happy
that
birthday,
night,
Bryce.
and rightly so. It's been a long journey,
Ladies
but
and
a
gentlemen,
fruitful one in
it
the
gives
end.
me great
There
pleasure
he
to
is,
say
a very
it
proud
another
Chris
time.
McCullen claiming the national
Australian
title.
champion,
We're going to
Chris
leave
McCullen.
the final word come from my good mate Mark Chopper Burgess, catching up with Chris McCullen to draw the curtains on another In the Red Corner fight night. Okay, we'll be back with more next week. Until then, all the best.
Let's get this guy on camera. He's thanked everybody in the whole world. The new Australian champion, Chris McCullen. How good do you feel?
Chop chop, tell me what it's like. Awesome.
Mate, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, mate, what a night, you know. Man, I thanked everyone there. I hope you got all that on tape. I can't thank everyone again. You know, that was the greatest thing ever.
Without a doubt, the best fight I've ever seen you fight. You're in the best condition I've ever seen you fight at.
Trained my bum off, man.
Mate, you're a credit to this sport. This crowd has come in there obviously for you. What do you reckon about these people, mate? They love you.
I love them, Chop. I love them. Man, I don't want to go anywhere. This is where I fight, and this is why they come here, you know. We have Angelo DiCarlo, Brian Kerwin. I fight for these guys. This is who they supported me from the start of my preparation, and I say to everyone, that's who I want to fight for. I don't need to go to Sydney. I don't need to go anywhere. I fight here in Brisbane on Brian and Angelo's cards.
This kid's great. I watch him train down the cliffs. He's awesome. He's a credit to the sport of boxing, a great ambassador. I love you, Chris McCullen.
I love you, Chop Chop.
That's to you, mate.